Right.
See, you never ask if we're ready to begin. You just slyly hit /join while we're in the middle of talking.
If we're talking about something that we actually don't want to be in the podcast, I like to give just the slightest hint, just in case. So here we are. Welcome, everyone, to the Loosest Screws podcast. And you know it, you love it, the loosest and screwiest podcast. And I'm going to be honest with you. This feels like old times. Now, why the hell is that? That's because, well, for one thing, Lark Shadow's here, which is that there's nothing old or young about that. That's Lark Shadow.
I can do an impression of Ty if you want.
Not quite. However, I'm Commander Jay Antrax, and I'm joined also by Commander Chig.
Good evening.
On the same episode at the same time.
How long has it been?
Proving once and for all that we're not the same person.
They're forced me to be here. Send help.
We still know Dubs and Date are the same person, right?
They are actually the same, which is why they were fired from the show a while ago. Nobody asked about that, which I think they should feel bad about.
I don't think the people who didn't ask should feel bad about it. I think Dubs and Data should feel bad for being fired. Sorry,
that's what I meant. Yeah, ambiguous antecedent.
Ambiguous Antecedent. There's the show title right there. Good job. Took all of about 45 seconds. Good work.
So is an ambiguous antecedent just like, generic ibuprofen?
I think you made up a whole different word.
Ambiguous. I need, with my wife not here. I want to get a book definition of this.
The far less fun version of AA.
The noun, pronoun, or clause that a pronoun refers to, called an antecedent, usually appears earlier in the sentence, although it can also appear later. A pronoun should refer to one specific antecedent. An ambiguous pronoun antecedent occurs when the pronoun has two or more possible antecedents. So because I wasn't specific about which they I meant, it was an ambiguous antecedent. And I'm gonna be honest, wife was a literature teacher for 15 years.
That is my new identifying pronoun, whatever. I am an ambiguous antecedent going forward.
I identify as
anything other than that, or Grand Moff Roku, and I will
Grand
Moff Roku.
For context, right before the podcast, I had to fix my Roku.
We know context. We have to quickly talk over his context.
You're a context.
I can't even spell context.
This is great.
Yeah,
hey, Chig, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, when was the last time we were actually on an episode? I could probably
I don't know. You're the one who keeps a spreadsheet.
Yeah, and it's a little bit out of date, so I've just been too goddamn busy.
And Chig may have gotten into my cocaine.
Ooh, yes.
Jesus.
Wow, this is.
That's what I said when I found how much was missing.
The dude with what you've got ADD or ADHD? I don't even know what all these acronyms are anymore.
The answer is yes.
and blow. Good combination. That's gonna go well.
Definitely.
For the record, never tried it. If I did, it'd probably put me to sleep just because that's how I roll.
No, that would be weed. Jesus.
Jesus.
Come on. Weed.
Episode titles are just coming out of us now, flowing.
Weed Jesus.
What?
Is that an edible?
Well, that's the sacrament, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Body of Christ, all that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not Catholic, but I'm pretty sure that's why they're doing that.
My God. Wine and edibles at church next Sunday. Come one, come all.
Well then.
Be God.
I'll tell you what. Let's ask Lark what he's been doing this week.
I can't follow that.
Oh, come on, man. What's the matter?
This has been the longest effing week in the history of my life because I have a week vacation starting basically after the workday tomorrow because we leave Monday.
Senioritis.
And I just that's been my week.
That's very light on details.
No, it really
it's
hasn't
also
been
probably
anything
because
going on.
all your game time is secret.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, been
that.
doing that stuff. I'm freaking in Warframe right now because I didn't feel like flying tonight.
Yeah.
But it's just been a week. I'm just ready for it to be done.
Cool. What's up, Chig?
Nothing. I'm in a on-foot conflict zone as we're doing this, so
that sounds
so you
like
don't have to
more
fly.
fun. I'm gonna join Chig.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's let's see. This week was like my first week solo at the new job, so this has been a fun adventure for me. I'm getting up at like 4:45 in the morning now, so that's new.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing how fast you get adjusted to that though.
Yeah.
You know,
and how quickly you'll unadjust when you have some time off.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm a morning person.
I've always been kind of a morning person. I haven't used an alarm clock in like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, that's like my weird superpower. I can get up at any time without an alarm clock. So it drives my wife nuts. But
I was always like that too. I signed up for morning classes in college and everything. I just felt like I was wasting my day if I like didn't go to class till the middle of the day or something, you know? It was like, what? I can't use that morning for anything, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, that just carried on. Even if I'm sleeping in, it's like 8:30, absolute latest. And plus I have a almost 9-year-old, so
yeah,
I don't need an alarm clock.
I told my kid one time, it's like, just get up 1 hour earlier, you know, just every day. Get up, you know, if you're waking up at 8 o'clock, get up at 7 o'clock and just do something for that hour. That gives you 365 hours a year to put into any hobby or project or, you know, whatever you might, you know, I never have the time for anything. All you need is just one less hour of sleep and you add a lot of time to your life.
Yeah. So, it's like I like take care of the dogs and stuff like that. So like if I don't get up early and take care of the dogs, then by the time I've done everything I need to do in the morning, it's like 10 and I haven't started my day or something. So I just get up early, do all the things, walk the dogs before the sun gets real hot in the summer, and
then you can get legitimately productive.
Yeah, and then it's like early and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
I'm on board.
All right, there we go. We're the early rise gang.
Yeah,
early rise gang represent.
Yeah,
except for Lark with his cocaine. He just does that in the morning every day.
He's like, what is time?
What is time?
Oh shoot! No, I've always been a morning person too. It's just the way my body's set up. Like even when I was a teenager in the middle of summer, I'd still get up at like 5 or 6, or I would at least be awake at that point, and I would never really go back to sleep. It's just how I roll.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
How
I got distracted. Where are we?
I think it's what you've done this week.
Oh, it's me. Okay.
Yeah,
it is indeed. Also, Chig, check the message.
I can't.
He wants to know what system you're in.
Oh,
so he can fight you. I mean, fight with you.
Redacted. Actually, no. I'm just trying to finish.
That's why you got to type it in Discord.
Not doing it anymore. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here, so I'm not.
I
want to pay attention to you guys and talk to you. So otherwise, yeah, I would tell you, but I'm not doing another one.
Me.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, all right. On my end, my wife has been in Chicago all week for a conference like training thing about couples therapy. So adding some ammo to as her business has gotten started here, her practice has gotten started. She's gotten a lot of couples. So that's like quickly becoming a thing, and she kind of wanted to add a little bit more ammo to that technique-wise. So anyway, they found there was a big thing. like as far as how to counsel couples, like specific training and techniques and insight and personal professional development.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Turns out
Yeah,
marriage is
so-
hard. I wish I knew that when I started.
Yeah, well, a lot of people want to know that, and she wants to be able to tell them about that. So anyway, so
Right.
she's been gone, and I've been single parenting, which is fine. But you know, she's coming back tomorrow late, and I'll be back to normal. It is odd the way that changes my schedule in weird ways. Not that it doesn't change what time I get up or anything, but like one night, I don't know, Tuesday or something, I just like forgot to go to bed. I was like watching TV and stuff, and it's just one of those like I'm by myself kind of days. It was like really weird. And it was like 1 a.m. I was like, oh shit, what am I doing?
I was going to ask, how's the little one?
Oh, little one's great. She had a
good.
horse camp this week. She did awesome. They had a little show. It ended, so tomorrow she's got off and she's going to one of her grandparents' houses, so I can work. But yeah, she's great. We went to the pool this afternoon after horse camp. It was fun swimming around and
Horse camp.
yeah,
Cool.
they like take care of the horses and ride and stuff. She does riding lessons and things, so she's
Oh, I thought she was like
kinda
a
on top of it.
counselor at a camp for horses. My bad. I had it completely backwards.
She has to try to make the horses feel better about being ridden, and she wanted to really brush up on techniques to help the horses with that. You see,
Bigger spurs. That's the key.
yeah.
How to
and-
tell you've
and
never
I-
been around horses.
I'll tell you a funny story. I dated a girl when I was like 19 years old. Maybe I just turned 21 because we drank a lot. It was a Thanksgiving. This girl, she was a bit on the wealthier side, and her parents owned like, I don't know, like 15 truck stops across like all southern Minnesota and Wisconsin kind of thing. So they had like a bunch of horses. So I learned how to ride when I was dating her a little bit. So I knew horses a little bit. I was able to ride bareback, and then broke up with her at some point. And then, years later, like a decade later or whatever, I met my wife now. And her parents had like 2 horses, entirely different type of situation. They just, were redneck country folk. But I kept saying how I was afraid of horses. And, I didn't mention that I'd ever ridden or anything like that, and just kept saying that, I know horses scare the shit out of me. And they're like, well, we'll put you
you're
on.
putting them on?
Yeah, I just
Okay, I see.
didn't
Yeah.
bother. I'm like, so
Awesome.
then there was one horse. I can't remember it was like Sweet Pea or something. It was like the gentlest horse ever. She's super gentle. You'll be fine on this horse. And they were going to saddle her, and I'm like, no, I can hop up on her. We don't need a saddle. It had all that. So I hop up, and I'm like, go down the driveway a little ways and turn around, and then I kicked her and to get her running real fast, and I'm running at them. The look on their face, they thought I was gonna die, and then I just reined up right up in front of them, but and just started laughing like, oh no, I've been on horses before. But yeah, that was when my wife realized she can never believe a goddamn word I say, because they
There
both
you
thought
go.
I was gonna die. So that's my horse camp story.
So Chick got his wife hustling. Good to know.
And I successfully resisted the urge to interject that you were riding your wife bareback. Oh, shoot. But then
my
I blew it
girlfriend at
right
that time.
now. Ah, damn. Anyway, I was proud of myself for a second there.
Just riding my wife's dad's horse bareback.
So you were like, the part of the story, you're like, fast forward to, I met my now wife. And I was like, don't speak, don't interrupt. All right. Well, in spite of all that, I found myself with lots of game time, obviously, in the evenings where I don't have a wife to hang out with. And I decided to test into this here. Thargoid combat is back on the menu because of the rebalancing business, because I hadn't really experimented with that much yet. So I went and did a bunch of conflict zones there in Thargoid control space, trying to see what's going on now that they're actually worth doing and contributing to the Indra war effort. So we'll do a little Thargoid war update later on, and I can kind of
Nice.
to tell you because I have some findings. But anyway, And if anyone's watching the video, I am running a replay. I am not actually fighting a conflict zone right now, but I didn't feel like flying while I chatted with these guys. So I just threw on the videos from this that I had recorded from this week. So it looks like I am destroying a bunch of Thargoids right now with reckless abandon.
So
and
this is
somehow
a best
not
of
being
Loose
distracted. It's a best of the conflict zone that I destroyed last night.
It's like the best of morning shows where all we do is the prank calls and war updates.
yeah. But yeah, so what do we do? We'll do a squad update that's nothing because it's all a secret. Join the Discord. We'll do a Galnet news update, which is nothing because it was no Galnet news. We'll do a Thargoid war update, which is almost nothing. And then we'll talk about the Type 8.
I like all of this.
I got the squad.
All right, squad update. Meow. We don't use the sounds anymore. Meow. Yeah. Do it.
So we have been very busy and then the up there hippopotamus.
Yep, got him.
Sounds good. If you want
All
to
the
join
details in the Standing Orders channel, join the Blues faction channel and the Discord, blah, 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 links in the show notes.
yes.
Get
All
it
that.
in you.
You're a link in the show notes. Got him.
All right.
That was my new favorite squadron update because it was so fast and over. And
That's awesome.
amazing.
I've been really enjoying them lately. They're just like, squadron update? I mean, come here and ask for it, and we'll give it to you.
And
I'm
if you're the
gonna
one
say that's
fighting
the squad
against
update.
us, please get in the Discord and contact us because maybe we can stop punching each other in the face so much. I'm just saying.
Here's super unpopular opinion. Squadron update stuff. I love the BGS guys and I love helping the BGS guys, but I honestly doze off every time we do a squadron update because you're naming random letters and numbers and shit going on. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to have to write that down. Oh, I don't have to. We have a spot in our Discord where it's already typed out neatly. Why don't people come look at that? And then they can join in. So I imagine some basement dweller somewhere. Oh, that's probably disrespectful to our basement dweller fans, but somewhere listens to the podcast and is writing it down because he doesn't want to join the Discord. He's writing down everything Booming Wind or Nurgle says.
It's true.
The nice way.
Feverishly with a pen was just ready to write a bunch of stuff down and then got extremely alienated by what you just said.
Yeah,
and 90% of our listener base.
Actually, using
the nice way to say basement dweller is to say residents of mom's apartment.
All right. I actually picture a dude. He's actually got a pencil and he's scribbling it on a pad, and then the lead breaks, and then he's all in a panic because he's listening to the show live, though people can't, and he can't rewind. You know, there's this whole story going on in my head.
You got a lot of. You stacked several fictions there.
Yes,
I'd read that story. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping that person's real now. All right.
Well,
if you are that person, shout us out in the Discord or in Chig Chat.
I have often like I know what you're saying, Chig. Like it's not meant as an insult. It's just it really does kind of feel that way to read that stuff out. But also I don't know. Like I would love to have feedback on that. Actually, like at a certain point, I think we'll probably be able to kind of open things up again someday. Assuming we do, I would kind of like to know, like, what do people think about that? Because it's like, I don't know, because like it is just a bunch of numbers and stuff. But I have this feeling like it is interesting to hear, like, are there wars and elections going on, or are there not? Like, there may be just like this sort of highlights, give me the headline kind of thing that people could actually absorb, and then the rest of it is just like, we're gonna read this out, and it's sort of it's like watching The Martian, right? It's like watching the BGS guys talk. It's like competency porn. They're gonna spew all this like extremely detailed information that they know all about, and just sort of display their mastery.
It's Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek asking for an update from Ensign Ricky over at the scanner panel.
Ensign Ricky, huh?
What the fuck did you just say?
Oh, you've seen Star Trek. Shut up.
Ensign Ricky.
I made that part up.
Oh
Oh my
Okay.
god. Better than Darth Ricky, I suppose.
Darth
Kylo Roku.
Kylo Roku. Jesus Christ. No, but
Okay.
I know exactly what you're saying on that. Well, I said it and then you carried on with it. But like I've thought about it too, and we're giving this update, but then the next day some stuff changes. So if somebody we record on when we recorded on Mondays, if somebody listens to it on like Wednesday or Thursday, the wars we were already talking about could be over, or the elections. Everything's always changing. And that's the beauty of BGS.
Yeah.
You always have something to do, and it's always evolving.
Right.
And that's why we say, come to the Discord, come join us, get in, befriend us, get into the clandestine channels, and then betray us. Wait,
Right.
did I
You
just
got
say
to
that?
get in there to get the private information before you can successfully betray us.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just had a thought. If we were still doing like detailed orders and stuff within the podcast, I was going to say maybe the trouble we're having with all these wars and everything else going on was someone just listening to the podcast 2 weeks removed every week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it though. I mean, a weekly update isn't good enough if you were actually going to keep up with it. It is sort of just like a tease. It's like, if you're interested in so anyway,
what we could do is, if we get feedback saying they want a squadron update, is just make the squadron guys do one every day.
Oh, so we'll have a daily podcast, but every week we do like the longer version on the weekly, and then the daily it's like the stocks update,
Exactly. Then my basement dwelling imaginary friend, he'll be freaking really going through the pencils, but
he'll really have it.
Might be a way to do it.
Love that. And here's your daily tick update for loose screws space. That would be unreasonable.
Oh my god. About half the time it would be the tick is late today, so listen tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, more than half the time. What are you smoking?
That's what Bloom does, man. Like, if for anyone who hasn't gone and looked at the squad orders, like, there's some carefully crafted emojied shit in there, man.
Yeah.
There's like a syntax and everything to it.
Imagine him getting ready to do like open heart surgery, and he's got his phone out and he's typing out squadron orders. Yeah.
Nurse is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I need to do quick squad updates." Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because he's already scrubbed in. He's typing with his nose on the phone. Yeah.
He's dictating it. He's dictating the emojis.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh my god.
And
dictated
emojis. So today in Ross, we
scalpel.
The little suction on that emoji. I sincerely hope when he listens to this, Blooming Wind is just dying.
People listen when they're not on? What?
We could be like Gaxi and listen even when you are on, just because you think you're hilarious.
Well, he is a special boy.
He's our rotten soldier.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. All right, so that was squad update. What do you have? A bug update next?
Yes, but I need you guys to vamp for like 30 seconds.
All right. So, Lark, what are you wearing?
Yes. I don't know, like clothes and stuff. Hey, actually, are you at the main station in the system you were warring in?
Yes.
If you get out of your ship and come to the concourse, I'm just running around here like an idiot.
So we're just going to run around like idiots. That's how we're going to vamp, doing something that nobody can see.
Yeah, basically. But how is that any different than any other day of our lives?
Okay, I apologize.
I don't know.
I'm back.
There's also some level 2.
We weren't done vamping.
Yeah, there's also some level 2 ground stuff up here at the vendor, but you don't need that.
What's on level 2 brown stuff?
It's the pre-engineered like guns you can buy.
Oh, what is it?
There is an Eclipse and a couple of suits as well. A Maverick and another Maverick. 2 Mavericks.
Like level 2s?
Yeah, grade 2s.
Well, move your fat ass. Let me look.
Wait, you don't want grade 2s. Come on, man. Everybody knows you don't buy anything below a grade 3.
Well, everybody knows.
Crap, he's just here still with the pumpkin head on in full glowing skeleton suit.
Yeah, I fight in style, brother.
Holy crap, I wasn't expecting that.
So, no, but I mean, most people know who've listened to the show for a while. I'm very OCD-ish when it comes to stuff, and like I've unlocked out of the power play, but like on this ground BS, this Odyssey ground crap, I grade 5'd one of every gun and one of every suit. Like that was like one of my little bucket list things. So I've got
You're the
one
grinder.
of every gun, and I've got I didn't put full. I didn't fill the 4 slots with stuff on all of them because you never know what's going to be the meta or anything. And I was just waiting to see if we were going to shoot aliens one day and there was going to be something that we had to add to a gun because you cannot remove fucking mods from your guns, which is, I still think is the dumbest thing they could have possibly done with that. But hey, it is what it is, right?
I mean, that's one way to say it. I did a little bit of Odyssey engineering when the AX restore missions first came around. And I did manage to grade 5 up a Maverick suit and put a few things on it that were important, like for that, and do a few guns like a rocket launcher and a laser rifle, or a pistol. I think a pistol because it's Maverick suit, not 2 primaries. And then I lost interest in that and did not go any farther. So like I don't have a Dominator or anything like that that's built up. I mean, I have grade 3s that I bought, but nothing that I've further engineered.
Yeah, to be fair, with grade 3 damage resistance, even grade 2, sometimes you're more than enough protected in most ground CZs. It's the like special guys, like if you're raiding a base or something like that, and they send in the elite units to take you out. That's the ones you got to worry about if you're not the G5.
Dude, just G5 and then you're Terminator. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I mean the G5 Maverick, I did go into like a conflict zone to try it out, and it was insane. It was
I think
they were all pathetic.
500 ground high conflict zones, and I think I lost maybe one ever, and I think it was because I went AFK. And I do die sometimes because I jump like in the middle of a group of guys thinking I'm a Terminator, and I end up dying. So I do die, once or twice out of every 5 conflict zones or something. But really, if you got grade 5, it's easy.
I've turned ground CZs into plain Quake because I've got G3 damage reduction on my Artemis suit, and I also have a G3 rocket launcher. So I'm just
going into
flying
CZ
around rocketing people in my freaking Artemis suit.
Yeah, that's just jumping over the whole thing.
I want to know where you put the SRV in that suit.
I mean, they still only have to hit me once or twice because I'm in a freaking Artemis suit. Yeah. But my gosh, that's the most fun I've ever had in this game, and I'm not even lying.
Yeah, well, I like the double jump ability and stuff so that's something that I have in my Dominator suit, so I can jump way the hell up in the air. And I have run into other players. I don't know. Like I said, I've done a bunch of the high CZs. I've run into another player maybe like 3 times, 4 times, believe it or not. And it's really easy to see other players because they're jumping and the AI never jumps.
Nope.
So if all of a sudden you see another character in the air, you know that there's another player in there with you.
Yeah, you don't even have to see the hollow triangle or whatever it is in ground.
You don't need to look at the radar. Just that dude's in the air. He's not an AI.
I haven't done enough of that to have seen it. Well, I saw other players during the alpha because we had like 10 systems we were all in, and everybody was doing it. So it was.
Remember that fucking shit show that were like 100,000 light second freaking.
Right, I remember. I still had it on my computer. Actually, I found it in my Google Drive recently. But somebody had made like a graphic that was a reference for these names of settlements, because it was like super hard to figure out. Like you had to go through a bunch of menus and navigate all this stuff, and it was buggy, a lot really buggy back then. So somebody had made an image of like, here's the list of all the ones that are like reasonably close. Here's all the ones that are at their B star or whatever like that, and all the settlements that were available in the alpha, and so that you would know, you could look real quickly, just cross-reference it. I had the graphic open on a separate monitor the whole time, so you just look at the missions and nope, cannot take in that one.
Yeah, that was an awesome. Was that alpha you said or beta? I don't remember what the hell.
It was called an alpha, but there wasn't anything after it. It just
was which branch? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the air quote different branch. The infamous branch.
The different branch that for some reason had exactly the same bugs as release.
Yeah,
It's
that's
weird that
weird.
those two
Weird.
branches, those two different branches were so similar. It's really weird. But anyway,
it was
is what it is.
bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that was some good vamping there. I asked for 30 seconds.
That was
You got
good.
4 minutes.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So Thargoid War update. Bum, ba, da, ba, da, da, da. So
I'm
Hold on.
doing my part.
I'll do a Thargoid noise if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, the Thargoid roar. I can do it.
go ahead.
Do it.
Do it. That sounded like Chewbacca with a cold.
I was going to say Chewbacca being.
I've been talking all day. My
barebacked
voice is
by,
tired.
Dewback. All right.
Okay, so here's the Thargoid report. Indra, there was some talk for some reason about Indra maybe being attackable as of today. This is Thursday, the 27th of June. I don't think I said the date at the top of the episode. I think that was always a little bit overly optimistic, but it will definitely be ready to go a week from today. So prep your ships.
Well,
So I mean,
I'm
really,
not happy.
starting maybe Saturday or Sunday, you might be able to get your 2 million credits in. You're not happy?
well, I've managed to sneak on and get my 2 million credits on each one so far. So I get my I get my sticker with the added stars or
Right.
asterisks or whatever they're putting on it, as you go. Well, this particular one, I'm going to be out of town. It's my annual tubing trip I talk about every year. We go
Nice.
riding down the river. I'm going to be out of town Thursday through Monday. So there's no way I'm going to get my 2 million bonds. Or 2 million.
You can probably. You just have to do 2 million within 7 days. Like if you did 2 million,
well, what if it blows up? Oh, I could do it now?
You could do it right now.
Is it vulnerable
or you could
enough
do
to
it like
do the
tomorrow.
damage?
Well, so it's now that the re-roll of everything, right? We only have 2 levels of vulnerability, which is like extremely defended or not defended. However, it currently has sustained 1% damage. So like it's not that it doesn't take damage.
Get it,
I bet you could work it up to 2 million without any reloads, because I have no trouble getting it well over 100 million in just one, like with one reload of my or one set of ammo out of my size 2 torpedoes. I mean, I think so within 7 days it will be probably Saturday or Sunday will be the day it explodes. Not this coming, but the next one.
The following. Yeah.
So I mean, realistically, if you leave, when did you say you leave?
Thursday next week.
Oh yeah, so I mean, any
so
weeknight,
I can do it this week. Okay, I
I
thought
would
you had
check
to wait
it.
for the fully fall.
No, it's got to be. You got to have done 2 million worth of damage to the core within 7 days of it exploding.
Okay, I just thought you couldn't do a whole lot of damage until.
Well, I bet the damage will be a lot lower. Like you'll unload a full volley of missiles, and instead of getting 4 or 5 million per cycle, I bet you'll get a lot less, like a few thousand or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll take a long time. I don't know. You might check on it and see, but it's possible.
I wasn't sure I was going to get to the last one. Then I snuck in there, and I hadn't flown since the prior one where I snuck in there. And when I got in there, what was the last one that went down? Roku? Is that?
Yep.
I don't remember.
It
so
was,
I went in.
It was the Jedi Master Roku.
I'd get in there. Wasn't even sure if I had the right ship or anything. And I go in there and I hit the vents and then I fly underneath and I shoot it. And I did like 18,000 in bonds. I'm like, oh boy, I got to get to 2 million. Then the second run, I got like almost 400,000. I'm like, oh, I'm going to run out of ammo. And then the next loop around, I did like 3 million. So I was just super out of practice on the first run and really out of practice on the second run. And the third run had the rhythm down again. So it's actually it's pretty easy, but
it's not that bad. And I find it easier in a solo instance just because there's a lot less heat in there as far as patrol craft are concerned. But for anybody who's struggling with it, like, bring a buddy. And ultimately the max damage for experienced people is you'd have a wing of 4, no more than that. Yeah. And they don't even worry about hitting all 8 vents. Just have one person bomb and everybody else get ready to attack, trade off. or whatever. And you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't have trouble getting. I go in with 3 serious missile racks, and I'm easily able to do between 3 and 6 million per cycle, even if I'm the one vent bombing. So
I mean, how many vents do you? I get like 5. I think I was able to get up to.
Yeah, I can hit. I can hit 6, 7 once in a while.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever gotten 8 by myself, but I also don't fly a Mamba in there. I fly a Mark II. So with I don't think the Mamba is the best ship in there. It can hit all 8 vents if it's flown right, but I do fine. I do fine with the slower ship. So
okay.
It's funny, the best ship I always found to take in there after trying a bunch of ones, including a couple what would be considered meta ships, was the Diamondback Scout. I do best with that.
No, it's because it's cold as shit.
Yeah, cold as hell.
It
doesn't carry the damage. That's all.
I'm in there with not anywhere near meta anything on there. I just threw something together. I think I'll go in with my Mark II, and just piece together. And I'm not under 20% heat without the vent. I'm using the beam laser the whole freaking time because I'm running.
Yeah, I do too. I laser it a lot, which prevents it from going back to sleep. So it does keep all the aggro there. Yep. But like I said, I'm bringing a medium torpedo launcher so that I can have 3 large missile racks. Because the missile racks are what I run out of ammo with first. So I don't have that much torpedo ammo. But still, by the time I get to the end, there's a lot of patrol craft in there, and it starts to get really hairy. And I do start to take some damage. But, with repairs, you can keep it up. And by the end, I'm about out of ammo. I'll finish my ammo, and then I'll just crash into the thing and call it a night. And usually I've made well over 100 million on any particular day. Last time we actually were there, Scotty and myself and a couple of other people, we were there when the actual when the meltdown began. So I got to see the fun start to it, basically the last cycle. We're running, we're doing our thing. We're near the end of our ammo, and then we start seeing messages in chat because, it happens at a slightly different time for everybody per instance, but you see messages in the system chat, and I'm like, oh, I think it's going. I think people are seeing it go. And sure enough, the next cycle it did the big explosion and puffing black smoke and stuff. Really cool.
It's cool. How many have we killed now? 4 or 5?
4. We are about to do the 5th one.
And I still think after the 5th one, the others might pull back, but we'll see.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, it feels like they want to get moving forward on something new. So that's something they definitely could do. Put them out as more of a permanent thing you can go visit and do.
Right. That'd be wise, I think.
Yeah.
Even if we kill them all, they should add some more out in a nebula somewhere. Yeah, it would be fun to let us kill all 8. I think that's fine, but they can just put some more out there, and that's Thargoid space now kind of thing. And
there is that.
That'd be cool. So anyway, we were down to 12 systems. I do see that one of the last spires has been completed recently since the tick. But there's there's one remaining active spire site, which means that's where everybody's going to be hammering. Once any system gets, if I understand this correctly, there's only 11 systems, including the spire site. So I believe they all would be affected because that's 10. That's the spire site and then the 10 closest. So this one spire site is affecting all of them. So do damage to there as soon as any of these other sites hit 85%. I think that's the maximum that a spire site can do pushback to them. And then you have to hit them individually, which is where the conflict zones come in. So they'll start falling. Well, one of them's up to 72% already. And a few more are very close to 50. So anyway, so I went and flew a bunch of conflict zones to see what was up. First, the system at the time, each night I went, there was a different system was the target because they kept getting completed. So I went and found a low. I did these all in open, and I got really lucky. I found 1 or 2 or 3 other commanders that I didn't know just there in open, and they were all perfectly competent. Frankly, I was having better luck than I ever did when I go into AXI's private. I for some reason run into a lot of people who don't seem to know
Dude,
the
you better
etiquette.
be careful. You start talking that way, they're going to put you on trial. So just,
No, man, I'm sorry. Like, they have a basically open private group. I'm not saying that they're like actual AXI people that don't know what they're doing, but like they publish etiquette all the time to try to get people's knowledge base about how to do it up. And I still run into people all the time. Anyway, had a good experience with it all. As far as that's concerned, everybody was really competent and we did good. And so the low intensity is fine. It's what you expect. Pretty much just Cyclopses show up, and then a single Hydra comes. And so then what did I do? Well, so then the next day, the next system that came in, I looked around and there was a high intensity that was pretty close. So all right, let's go do that. And I went in there, and there was another commander in there fighting. And that was pretty cool. There were basilisks. There was a Medusa. We got about halfway, and it was fun. It was challenging, especially if you're a little out of practice. The Medusa catches you at the wrong moment. I got some missiles, and I was out of the fight for a little while. I had to repair all my guns, and they'll do it to you. So if you're not paying attention in that chaotic environment, but then we got about halfway through. And then I get this alert that the hazardous environment alert. And sure enough, a glaive has appeared and melted all my Guardian shit. So we are not at a ground base where I have seen scythes before, which can melt your Guardian stuff, but you can repair them at least. Scythes and glaives. So at a ground site where there's no, we're not there. We're out in open space where there's no no way to repair yourself. If you leave the instance, it'll start over kind of thing. And there's no way to complete it. So, once again, we just have this unfixed stuff. I can't help but think of the Thargoid hunters and the glaive in particular as just a big misstep in this whole Thargoid war thing. I just can't make a good argument for that. As a good game mechanic. I know they wanted to add a new ship, but just adding a thing that is faster than you pretty much no matter what and can delete your Guardian stuff, it just means you can't fight that. Like the things that were in that high intensity CZ, you cannot fight those without Guardian stuff. That's just not happening. And that thing came in and melted all our guns, and was just like, okay, I guess I'm flying home. So I do this, I try to make a good show of it. So I do the difficult thing and actually escape from it instead of letting it kill me and fly home. So it's like, well, shit. So apparently in highs, glaives can show up, which means you can't fight highs. So that sucks.
It's just stupid.
Sucks, and if you were to put them in instances where you had a landing pad, that would be a different story, right? Because then I have a few seconds, then we can work together. I've got 30 seconds before my modules are all destroyed. Let me do some damage because the glaive is not that tough,
No, they're not.
But I have to be able to fix my stuff.
Yeah.
Or something. So I don't know what the solution would have been, but just giving it the ability to melt all Guardian stuff, that was low-hanging fruit for adding new challenge. I do not think it was the right move. I think that was a mistake.
And they really should have. All they had to do to fix that was add, we got the new Super Cruise thing. We got the thing to,
right.
Just something that would have, in engineering that we could have done. I know that the E word, sorry people who hate the engineering, but something that we could have done to our Guardian stuff.
Yeah.
Or run a CG that made Guardian stuff immune to, glaives.
Yeah.
Something.
I mean, the engineering they did add that reduces damage by 20%, that sort of sucks. The fact that we can't do it to anything but regular Gauss sucks. I guess that means what I should say is that's the only thing you can do a high intensity CZ with now is you have to do Ram-Tom modified Gauss cannons.
Yeah, and you've got
I was flying with shard cannons. So, or should they have come up? We should have a module that we have to have on our ship that shields our guardian things, right, or something. And maybe it takes power.
Yep.
That would make it difficult because like system capacitor is precious. That's one of the big reasons we don't run shields. Among the big reasons we don't run shields. So they could have done things that would have increased the difficulty by making us give something up on our ships, right?
Yeah.
And that way, but still allow us to actually fight with skill and not just revert to gimbaled multi-cannons and whatever Thargoid isn't too hard to kill with those,
Exactly.
So
that involves them playing the game. Oh
boy. Is that you?
I know that's a funny quip.
Sorry, low hanging joke.
It doesn't really like, do they actually play the game? That is great. But they don't have to. They just have to, because game balance doesn't require you to play it. It probably requires some testing and paying attention, but they don't need to be AX aces. They don't have to, they do this all day for work. They don't have to go home and do their work at home too, man.
Yeah, just like reading one of the, 80-page open letters or something, they'd be able to get all this information. I don't know why they don't.
That person is a legend. I don't care if you haven't actually read it.
Okay, well, so then the next the next night, so then brings us up to last night where I ran a medium. Medium was fine. It seemed to be a mix of Cyclops and Basilisk. We did see a couple of Basilisk. So yeah, we played. So the low I was able to complete obviously, and the medium as well. And kill the Hydras and stuff because the Hydras still come at the end. It feels weird to fight just a parade of Cyclops in a low intensity and then have a Hydra come out of nowhere. Now I know they separate it, right? So you complete it, you get your bonus for completing the thing, and then there's an extra boss fight. So they separate it, but it does feel a little strange to just go from like easy, these things fall over in seconds to oh shoot, here comes the big boy. But it's fine, whatever. So, and the medium's the same thing, like one Hydra at the end. I'm pretty sure the high intensity would have had 2 Hydra.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was cool with doing them the old-fashioned way with no repairs except what I bring and synthing. I think in that high I had to synth AFM refill because that Medusa murdered my shit. I got missile bombed by that thing and real quick.
I miss
sensing ammo to finish a Hydra, because I can't leave because I don't know anybody. There's a couple of people in the instance with me, but I don't know them and I don't know when they might leave and we might lose it. So
most fun I ever had in this game is when we did Operation Bronze Medal or Oops Gold, whatever the hell we called it. That was the most fun I ever had when we had so many of us in there all fighting every night. Doing that, killing the Hydras at the end, Bork, just dying again and again to go reload. It was I
did premium back then too. Yeah, I loaded premium for that series.
Everybody fighting over who got the heart or who didn't. It was fun.
The Battle of 22-460.
Oh
best
yes.
Thargoid combat ever because we had the Federal and Imperial capital ships with their AX guns mounted, and the interceptors would swarm them. And I would do solo high intensities. That's where we first got some of the different intensities of CZs too. And I remember like there'd be a high with an Imperial ship in it, Imperial cruiser, and a Medusa would show up, and so then my trick was I would just orbit the Imperial ship and let that thing exert the Medusa's hearts.
Yep.
So basically, I would bring it over near the ship, let it shoot the shield down, and let the ship exert the Medusa's heart and spend my ammo only for the hearts.
Oh yeah,
I did the exact same thing.
And then you kite them away to finish the heart off, right? Because you don't want the. You don't want it to mess up the orbit.
And you don't get...
Oh, that's right. The ships used to steal the kill back then, too.
Oh, yeah. It's always something.
There's always something.
Except you also forget the reason I did it near the ship was because I wasn't very good at AX combat back then. So.
Oh, well, that's... I mean, good or not, a Medusa will...
Fuck you up.
It'll fuck you up. Yeah. But it also... Like, let's assume that... Now, this is like the height of the height of my game. I was like fully in practice, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm still gonna prefer that because otherwise I spend my ammo and have to synth a bunch of times.
Yep.
So if I can kill a Medusa, I can't complete a zone with just a Medusa, right? So you've got to do at least like another Basilisk and 2 more Cyclops at least, and it's usually going to be 1 more than that probably.
Yeah.
So
And then your
you got to
mats are
save
going
that
away.
ammo.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. So so anyway, the Medusa especially, because I would put, what is it, Medusa, probably 3 whole magazines. I think I was flying a Chieftain then, so it was too small,
Nice.
too medium. So it would be like 3 or 4 magazines to exert the heart, assuming my range was good out of the shard cannons. So you don't want that. That's like 20. It's like 20 rounds. Terrible. Anyway, if you can save that, go for it. Those guns, those cruiser guns are free. Well, that was boy. That was
They have a bigger capacitor in their ship.
I hope they do. Okay, well, so that's my thing. It's here. I'm glad combat counts now. I am bummed that we still have this. The glaive is the mistake. The glaive is the mistake. Other than that, I think it's okay. I do wish they would throw in some cruisers, though. Like, I know that these systems are like unpopulated because they get Thargoid control, but like, I don't know. Write something into the story. On the last couple of Titans, let's do it. Have the superpowers send in their cruisers. Let's finish them.
Yes.
Brute force. Let's make it massive and a battlefield the way things were in 22-460.
Amen.
I would love that.
No,
There's still time,
here.
FDev. There's still time. And get those fucking glaives out of conflict zones. Unless there's a landing pad, you can't put a glaive in there. It's not good game balance.
Yeah, I agree.
Go to hell with that. Go to hell. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, eat my ass. Wait, what?
Wow, that
Holy
escalated
shit.
quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody good? Dev news. It's Type 8 time. Isn't it?
Type
It
what?
is Type 8 time.
It's Type 8 time. So there was a stream yesterday, and on the stream, link in the show notes to the stream highlight, which is just the end of it where they talked about Elite. So we skip over all the race car stuff.
Oh,
And do you
To
not
be
know
fair,
about
the
this,
race
Chig?
car stuff was pretty good, but that's not what this podcast is about.
well,
Yeah.
I'm an F1 fan, so
Oh, well, too bad.
you guys don't have
the only
can't
version.
break that
Game looks
down.
awesome. Go get it.
Yeah, so they showed in-game video of the Type 8 flying around, video from within the cockpit and all around the ship. They showed it landing, and they talked details. The rundown. I'm gonna let Lark talk because I've been talking for a while.
Good. Yeah, shut up.
Oh,
I have the
right.
image on screen.
No, you're fine. I'm just playing with cosmetics on my Maverick suit right now. So the Type 8, they went through everything that it is. Wow, my brain just died. They went through everything of how
It's a
the
spaceship,
internals
Lark.
look. It's a spaceship. It is indeed a spaceship. So the core internals, the power plant, thrusters, FSD, and fuel tank are all size 5. The power distributor is a size 4. And then life support and sensors are size 3s, which that actually tracks for a transport ship. The keelback and Type 7 and Type 6 are the same way with their life support and sensors.
Isn't Aspects really similar to this as well?
Aspects has a better distributor. I think it might have a size 4.
Oh, I
It's
think
been
it's
while
still a
since I've
size
flown
4.
one. So I
Let
don't
me
know.
Get up. I'm gonna pull some stuff up. You keep
Anyways.
talking.
As far as the optional internals, you get 1 size 1, 1 size 2, 1 size 4, 2 size 5, 3 size 6, and a size 7.
So it's like real close to a Python Classic with another size 7 slot on top of it, which is massive.
Huge. It sits right in between what you can do with a Clipper or a Python Classic, but on a medium pad. So that excludes the Clipper, I guess. So never mind.
Well, no, but I think that's the appropriate comparison because that's the thing about the
absolutely.
Clipper, right? It would be a useful ship, except
Yeah, if Gudamaya could get over himself and things landing on a medium, to the funk. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Imperial citizens. Anyway, back to the Type 8. It looks to have.
I'm surprised by that cargo size, by the way. I definitely had put myself on record as saying I think they're going to make it smaller than a Python Classic as far
No,
as
yeah,
cargo is
this
concerned.
straight
They
up
went for it.
beats this straight up beats the Python Classic. You can get a max of 406 cargo out of the Type 8. That is
Wow.
insane for a medium ship.
Wow.
Now it looks they said hard points on the stream, but I'm pretty sure they meant utilities after the fact. It looks like it's going to have 6 utility points. It's also going to have 4 hard points with 2 smalls on either side of the cockpit, which mirrors the Type 7, a small above the cockpit, and then a medium all the way in the back, just behind where the cargo scoop is. And if you look at the actual pictures of it, you can see how far back on the ship that is. That's all the way at the back of the ship. So that'd be a really good place to put missiles or mines.
A turret, defensive turret, right?
That too. Yep. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, on the stream. So this was a big thing because everybody was like 6 hard points, and I went and rewatched it, and he really did say it has 6 hard points, but then he went on to say 2 small either side of the cockpit, 1 above, and 1 medium in the back. So he lists 4 hard points after saying 6. So yeah, that's my assumption. That's our presumption right now, is he must have meant 6 utilities, which means all the new ships have 6 utilities. Yay!
Which is
I don't
great.
know, but with typical FDev communication, it can be hard to interpret at times.
Yeah, he was reading off a note sheet though. Like, I'm picturing you're live on stream, you're reading off notes, and you just kind of, the notes said 6 utility. Plus, I've heard
what if you
FDev and people at FDev using describing utilities as hard points. Like, they consider
so
that
much
among the hard points, you know?
But what if it was 2 small to each side of the cockpit? So that's 4, then 1 small above and 1 medium behind. That would be 6. If you want to go even more, if you want to confuse it even more.
Oh man! Well, now, so okay, I'm not going to go play the video right now. I don't think
I didn't
he
see the
says
video. I
2
just saw the
small
sheet.
each side of the cockpit. Is that the
2
exact
small
quote?
too small each side of the cockpit is what's on the graphic on.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from, but
that
Well,
came
look,
from Reddit.
Okay, so apparently the kerfuffle continues then, because if this actually has 6 hard points, which is 5 smalls and 1 medium, that doesn't fit in a size 4 power distributor.
I think you could make it work. Size 4 power distributors are actually quite beefy once you engineer them.
Okay, flipping back to my other browser tab, I see that the ASP Explorer, oh man, the ASP Explorer has 4 smalls and 2 mediums, and it has a size 4 distributor.
Yep.
So I'm sure you could build yourself a very capacitor limited weapon loadout on that, but it means that they could definitely do it, because that right there would take more power than this with what we just described. So I don't know, man. All right, now I don't know what the hell to think.
And what I did with the aspects to keep it when I did fly it, which was way back in the day, but to make that size 4 distributor go as far as it could, because that was even back before I even started engineering. So it's just a standard 4A distributor, right? I did all cannon.
I don't know what that is. Just so we're clear in this conversation, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is you just said.
But I would do a setup like 4 cannons underneath, because those just sip on the distributor. They don't care.
Yeah.
And then like pulse lasers on top on the bigger hard points, because it'll still do pretty good damage because it's a size 2 weapon, but it still just sips at the distributor because it's a pulse laser.
Kinetics do rule. I love my kinetics. Keep those pips in weapons, man. Keep the pips in engines. That's what I meant.
On this, it is ambiguous, because they don't mention. I can see, because they don't mention the number of utility slots. So when they have that in there, that sounds like it could have been that's what the utility slots were 6 and the weapons. But the math on the weapons, when they say 2 small each side of the cockpit, is that 1 on each side?
I interpreted that as
side?
1 on each side. But now that I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I think that's what he said. 2 on. And now, so I, like Lark said this, and I convinced him, no, he's got to be talking about utilities. Look.
Well, to be fair, it's very easy for me to gaslight myself.
That's what I'm saying. It's typical FDev.
FDev, we need it to be ambiguous.
I don't use the Twitter. He may have already corrected. I mean,
The Twitter.
wouldn't we have explained have asked him about this by Arf?
Here,
Gold
I'll go
darn it,
check
Arf.
Elite's Twitter right now. Give me a sec.
Did they say anything about this? Because he also makes this comment about, because in the last stream he called it like a fighter freighter, and now in this one it's like, oh, don't. I shouldn't have said that. I'm being. I mean, it's a freighter. It's not really. It's not a combat ship. It's not going to hold up to other proper combat ships, and of course.
And of course, we're all like,
thing
challenge accepted, mother effer.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but
Of course. I can't wait to fly it. It looks like it's going to fly weird as shit. I don't know why. Just the way it.
Yeah.
The way that the balance and stuff on it and thrusters where they are. I don't know. It seems like it should fly fun.
It's got size 5 drives. That's okay.
Yeah, nothing about it on the Twitter.
Okay, man, we're just gonna have to wait 30 days.
All right,
some more.
we need ambiguousness.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Look at that picture too. It looks like there could be. Well, I don't know. Is that next to the cockpit on that picture? I don't know.
We're looking at the underside.
Yeah. Is that the end? Is that to each side of the cockpit? I don't know.
So those 4, yeah, I mean, they look like there are. That's what a size 1 torpedo launcher looks like. That could be the 4 size 1s along the bottom.
Yeah.
They're not either side of the cockpit. They're like way below the cockpit and back. They're like halfway back the ship.
Yeah. Wow.
That could be 4 torpedo launchers. That's what they look like. This is sort of a blurry photo that somebody put on Reddit. They washed it all out to put the text on it, but oh man.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm more interested in the size 5 thrusters on that thing, because everyone was like looking at the speed in the little video they showed of it, the in-game flying on the stream. And they're like, oh, well, they were at full throttle and only going like 153. Well, yeah, it's FDev. They probably also still had E-rated freaking thrusters.
That's an E-rated Type 8, man.
I have a feeling with engineered thrusters on this, the straight line speed on this thing is going to be bonkers.
They said it's quick. They said it's quick in a line. Asp Explorer also has size 5 thrusters. So
Asp
it will
Explorer
have to be
is also quicker than you think it would be too.
It'll have to be slower than the Aspects though, because it's got to be a lot heavier with the internals layout.
But it's going to stop like a cutter.
it might just swing, baby. It might be a slider.
Well, that's what the pylons on the front are for. You see, those are spring loaded, so they get to where they're going. It's just going.
Perfect.
You boop to stop. The size 3 life support and sensors is quite small. Those are 4 and 5 on an Aspects.
To be fair, the Aspects is also an Explorer, so that's why.
Yeah, but I just think, especially if you can move quickly, size 3 sensors are not going to have a great range.
Well, if it's 3A, it'll have a pretty good range.
So a 5A, hold on, a 5A, and we're going to end, actually, no, so I don't use A, so D. So 5D sensors, and we put long range on those. So we'll have a nominal typical emission range of just over 9,000 meters. Okay.
What is that in inches?
Well, you work that out on your own. Now I have to find a ship with a size 3 sensor. Okay, a Cobra 3 has a size 3 sensor. So let's put a 3D sensor in here, engineer at long range, 8.5 kilometers. So it's not that different. Okay. All right. I take it back. Not that different.
And especially
it's not even 1,000 meters different.
Yeah, and especially if you're a A-rated purist like I am, you have a 3A in there, you're going to be fine.
Oh no, this has a longer range. So yeah, no, 3D with long range has a longer scan range than an A. You got to get those A. Lark, come on.
What about?
You got to get those A's out of your ship.
All right, you're in there right now. What is the scan range of a long range 3A?
Oh, you don't long range a 3A. That thing is so heavy.
What do you do?
It weighs 10 tons. God. A size 3 sensor weighs 10 tons.
Oh, who cares? The ship weighs a gajillion tons anyway.
You put a 3D on there. You put long range on it. It only weighs 4 tons. Okay, what's the range difference? So 8.5.
You put a 3D on there. I put a
We
3A
go
on there.
3A.
Let me just say this right now.
It only goes up to just over 11 kilometers.
I'm just happy that Lark uses A-rated rather than like B-rated. Yeah, I could have seen him given some reason that B-rated was better, you know.
So can I tell a story about B-rated modules?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh God, yeah.
Can I tell a story about B-rated modules?
This is great content. Dear listener, the podcast is over, but if you want to stick around. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm just kidding. Tell your story.
No, it's quick. I am still not completely sold that they're completely useless. I have been theory crafting and want to make a federal dropship that does not use a shield at all in any circumstance. And one of the things I would do on that is use some B-rated modules, because the B-rated modules have twice the armor of everything else. And so your modules are more protected. And I'm trying
but
to
is
make
it for a combat ship?
Yeah, it's for a combat dropship. It's shieldless. With high armor resistances. That's what I'm going for.
Lark, here you go. Let me just save you a lot of time and trouble. The difference in, B-rated have higher integrity, but they also have like twice the mass. So you'll be so slow and you'll take a lot more damage compared to use the A-rated and bring an AFM, which will have more total hit points of the modules in your ship than if you used B-rated and forgot about the AFM. And guess what? AFMs are massless. So they do not slow you down. There's no problem with that. AFM, it's the way to go.
Okay, the problem with an AFM is that requires thinking.
So does flying a spaceship. You've already lost.
Oh, shoot, I tried.
I just don't. There's one case where you would want a B-rated module, and it's a shield cell bank, because they have an extra charge compared to an A-rated. And so on a giant ship where the mass difference isn't that big a deal, if you're trying to like do double banking on like a Corvette, or sometimes in FDL you could do this as well. You could use B-rated, and you've got plenty of utilities, so you can bring enough heat sinks. And you can double bank and heat sink those down and fire them at the same time. And
a massive
4 charges instead of 3.
Very, very niche little case where you're absolutely going maximum meta that you could possibly do, because that is the way to get the absolute perfect. That's not Lark.
Yeah, bear in mind, I was about to say, bear in mind, you're talking to the guy that did a prismatic double banking shield loadout on an ASP Scout because I wanted to.
Well, that's fine. So you should have you could use the B-rated SCBs in that guy. There you go.
I did. It worked well.
That was great. You get an extra, so technically slightly more shield hit points in that versus the A-rated, because you have an extra charge. All right.
Yep. I will say though, the problem with that ASP Scout build was the only prismatic I have is a 5A. And that thing just did not have enough power to have that shield, the banks, and literally anything else.
Yeah.
Even with G4 on my power plant, it did not have enough juice.
Your power plant, you A-rate it, you put overcharged to the max, monstered, and you've got 22.932 megawatts.
Yep, that ain't much.
It's not going to get you very far when you can fit a size 5 shield on this guy. All right. Well, that was fun. That was a fun little diversion.
Sorry.
Yeah. What else is that? What else is that?
I don't know.
Type 8's coming in August.
Remember, I get up at 4:45 in the morning these days, so I'm ready to sign off anytime.
He's ready to sign off. All right. Type 8 comes in August, and then they said Power Play is September?
Power Play 2.0 September, Type 8 in August.
This was all in the FU yesterday, right?
That was in the FU.
It was right at the end of the stream. He said those things, and then the stream went out.
Okay, so September we're supposed to have Power Play 2.0. Have we done a show where we've talked about what we think that is yet, or is that upcoming?
I'm sure we have.
Oh, okay. We can do it again, though.
Well, we're not doing it now.
Free. No, I'm not doing it now. No. All right. Any community corner stuff? I'll say that since I was just looking at shipbuilding stuff, Coriolis is in the process, or maybe has completed the process of being transferred to new stewardship. So
happy.
it will be receiving updates and we'll be back to having 2 sensible possibilities for building ships. After I just got used to ED Shipyard. But anyway,
Right.
I always did kind of like the layout in Coriolis, so I'll be interested to see which I prefer when they're both up to date. That'll be fun. Is this Ground CZ night happening?
I really want to make it happen, but life keeps being busy, and I'm going to be out of town all week next week. So I'm going to try for at some point the week after that.
Okay, so the
Okay.
week after Haddad goes down, we'll try to do a Ground CZ event. Get your Artemis suits ready.
Get as many of us in there as we can, and then have someone come by and strafe the whole line with missiles.
There's also a link in here to Buckyball. The pop gun race was last week, right? So shouldn't we have been concluding that by now? I think it must be done or nearly done.
Yeah, I believe the pop gun race it either finished today or finishes tomorrow.
Okay. Is it
And-
Friday to Friday?
I believe so. I could be wrong on that. And there'll be more info on that available from the Buckyball Discord.
Did we wish the Burrs happy birthday? 6 years on YouTube yesterday or
Not-
the day before?
Not yet, but
That
feel
in there?
free.
Oh, I just jumped
Yeah.
forward.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not-
I mean, I should
No,
put it
I'm
in the
not
notes.
wishing him
There's
happy
nothing else.
birthday. You can.
Happy
know what?
birthday,
man.
Burrs.
I will. Happy birthday. What a fantastic people and channel. Damn.
Damn. They spell it
Damn.
weird, but it's cool.
It's happy birthday.
Burr, B-U, Boor. I don't know. Send the man a scarf. Train his
No,
teeth.
they're great. They're great. Love it.
They are great. They're great people.
So happy that they're around. Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job. You did it.
Yay.
I do like a
That's all I
British
have.
accent. Congratulations, but that's Adaxis' job, and he decided not to be here tonight because he had more important things to do.
I'll fill in for him.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, God.
Happy birthday, old chap.
Why did you eat the mic to do that?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It probably makes it better because you can't tell.
Good job. Good job. Good job, governor.
Trax is over there like the pop filter. It does nothing.
Swallowed it.
All right, guys. Well, this was fun. It was
Fun.
sincerely
Been a while.
great to see you again, Chig. I know we've been dodging each other on the show, but once again, this proves, and I don't want to hear about this ever again. This proves that Chig and I are not the same person.
We just hate each other.
Yeah,
Mommy and
that's
Daddy
what
are
it is.
fighting.
Let's start that rumor.
That's what it is.
That
That's what it
rotten
is.
son of a bitch. All these guys from Ohio. I had to get out of here. It's always Ohioans and Idahoans. It's just Hoans.
It's terrible. We should cut this off.
I know. I sent it off the rails again. God damn it. All right, let's go.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. You know what to do. Like and subscribe and all that nonsense. And support the show on Patreon if you want to. It's
eat
really
cheese.
good thing to do. Eat cheese. Oh my God. Jeez. Did you see how it slowly faded into the background since you've been gone?
I know. You
Oh my God.
because-
Everybody remember
yeah,
cheese?
in honor of
bastards.
Chig being here, the cheese of the week is Parmesan because I had a meatball sub with a bunch of that on it and it was delicious.
like legit good Parmesan, or are you talking like the
Good
canned
Parmesan.
sawdust stuff?
The good Parmesan.
Oh no, get the sawdust in a can. That stuff's the best.
Well, they're both good. Whatever. Just Parm's Parm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Amen.
compromise. I get the it's like shredded but not powderized.
Gotcha.
That's good
That's
stuff
a
too.
good compliment.
Comes in like a little plastic tub kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can like
Good
pinch
stuff.
it like you're a food snob. You can pinch it and sprinkle it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Or eat it with a spoon out of the tub too. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
just-
but I mean, you can always do that.
But yeah, always.
Quick-
That's not special.
No,
Quick
no.
tracks. Get us out of here before Chig starts talking about bathing.
All right,
in cheese.
everybody. Thanks. We'll see you all next week when Titan Haddad will be going down. See you there. Bye.
Bye.
Are you having a
It's
show next week?
Indra, not Haddad.
4th of July, are they doing a show? Do we know? What's the plan for a show
They?
next week? Yeah.
Us?
Well, I won't be
Oh,
here.
I
Remember, I
know.
said I was going to be out of town. And
I
it's Independence
am,
Day.
It's Independence Day. I am going to be in town. My wife and kid will be out of town.
Oh, so you're doing a
I
show.
guess I
Got it.
could probably do a show. Sure. I'll do a show from inside the Haddad Maelstrom. No,
All right.
not Haddad. Indra. What are we on now? Indra. I'll do one
Indra.
from inside the Indra Maelstrom.
As long as you're
And-
blowing
Take your
shit up.
laptop so you can do that live from a fireworks display as it's going off.
They will probably start going off while we're recording.
There you
they
go.
do shoot them down the street from me.
Your dog will be whimpering.
My
Eyes
dogs will
flying
be
low.
under my chair.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll
Okay.
see you. See you. Bye.
Bye.